In this video, we're going to have a look at trial and improvement. If you're revising, just pause the video and have a go at those two questions. Now, how you might want to go about trial and improvement could differ from how you're expected to go through it in an examination. So you really have to jump through the hoops, unfortunately, and I'll give you the technique that you should follow. So here in question 1, we have the equation x squared plus x equals 23. And we're told it has a solution between 4 and 5. We're told using trial and improvement, find a solution, giving your answer correct to one decimal place. We'll come back to that bit at the end, that's important, but we'll not look at it just yet. How you might solve this equation could be using different techniques, like factorising, for example. But if you're told using trial and improvement, then that's the method you must use. You're given a starting point. So if you square a number and add that original number, you should get 23. They're telling you that there's an answer between 4 and 5. So for example, if you did 4 squared is 16, plus 4 is 20, so that's not enough. So it's an answer bigger than 4, but it'll not be bigger than 5. Keep it simple. I would start off by having a guess that it's right in the middle. It's 4.5. Then what you do is you put your x value into this equation here, or into the left hand side. So you would square your x, square your 4.5, and add on 4.5. And that will give you an answer. Put that in your calculator. And that gives you 24.75. Just make that decimal point clear. That's mud. So we need a comment on that. We have to basically see, well, what did we find out from putting in 4.5? Well, 4.5 squared plus 4.5 is 24.75, but we were looking to get 23. So your comment would be that that's basically too big. 4.5 was too high for a guess. So maybe you would choose a smaller number, 4.3 or 4.4. I'm going to go with 4.4. Now, usually the way that would get you 1 mark for having a guess between 4 and 5 and being able to apply the technique correctly. So then I'll try 4.4. You don't need to have the method in here. I'm just going to put it in again. But you're doing 4.4 squared plus 4.4. Put that in your calculator and you get 23.76. Again, we're looking for 23, so that's still too big. So I didn't drop down enough. So I'll try 4.3 because that actually is very close to 23 now. I'll not jump too much. And if you do 4.3 squared plus 4.3, that gives you 22.79. Don't worry too much about rounding and things like that. Just as long as you know, as long as you can tell from these numbers, are they bigger or smaller than 23, that's really enough. And now that there is too small. So you do not jump and get your answer from there. We're not finished. But we do know it's between 4.4 and 4.3. And that will, if you can get it between two numbers to one decimal place, that'll usually give you a second mark. Now, I suppose at the start, we were told the number was between 4 and 5. The answer was between 4 and 5. That's the number line, just in case you didn't know. So it could be any number at all, but now you know it's between 4 and 5. It can't be a number. It's not a number less than 4. It's not a number less than 5. Now, the first guess was 4.5. And it was too big. So then we could basically say, oh, well, look, it's definitely not here. We're looking at numbers between 4 and 4.5. We then choose, zoom it in. We then choose 4.4. It was too big. So we can get rid of all that. And then we choose 4.3. But it was too small. So anything below 4.3 we could get rid of. And that's effectively where we've got to now. As I said earlier, we don't just say it's going to be 4.3 because that's closer to 23. That is the incorrect way to go about it. What you want to do is when you get it between two numbers to one decimal place is look down the middle, 4.35, and figure out then, is the answer going to be in here or in here? That's called a midpoint. I'm going to put that one in red, 4.35. And then you put that in, 4.35 squared plus 4.3, and that gives 23.2725. And that's too big. Why was that useful to get that midpoint? By the way, that gets you a mark as well. Why is that useful? Well, if 4.35 is too big, we can get rid of anything up here, and we know it's between 4.3 and 4.35. What's significant about any number between 4.3 and 4.35 is if we're given our answer, giving your answer correct to one decimal place, doesn't matter what number you choose in here, or what the answer is in here, whatever that answer is, if you are rounding it, it's not going to be bigger than 4.35, so it'll never round up to 4.4. It's not going to go below 4.3, we know that, so it's somewhere in between here. If you're rounding it to 1 dp, it has to go to 4.3. It'll always round down to 4.3. So that means your answer is 4.3. Now don't tell me you knew that anyway. That is correct most of the time, but not all the time. It's not a perfect technique. It's a good guesstimate, I suppose. You must go through that midpoint technique to get your final answer, because you're going to drop. If you forget about the midpoint, you might just get the first 2 marks and lose the last 2. So quite costly. Right, let's try that technique again with question 2. The equation 2x squared equals 5x plus 1 has a solution between 2 and 3. Using trial and improvement, find the solution, giving your answer correct to 2 decimal places. The first thing I notice in this question is this here equation looks quite difficult because we've got to work out a left and a right hand side. So the first thing I would be doing is maybe rearranging that. You could rearrange it all to equal 0, or even just take off 5x from both sides so that the variables, or the x's, are all on one side. And we can do trial and improvement with that. We can get the x value and square it, then multiply it by 2, and then take off 5 of the x value and try and get 1 as our answer. Let's have a look then. Doesn't tell us, oh it does tell us a wee bit. It tells us between 2 and 3. Now, if you guess something and it's rubbish, you don't have to write them all down. You might want to just put them in your calculator until you get sort of good answers. Now, I don't mean put them all in the calculator and have no method, but I'll just give you a first example here. 2 times 2.5 squared minus 5 2.5s. That gives me 0, which is too low. If I go up a bit higher, 2.6, if I put that in, probably speeding this up quite a bit because you can put the values in yourself. If you're doing it non-calculator, which this one wouldn't be, you're squaring that x first and then doubling it. That's important. But the rest of it, putting it in, should be fine. 2.5 was too low. 'll write that. My writing was very poor, not that much better. 2.5 was too low and 2.6 was too low. So really didn't really achieve anything with 2.6 and 2.5, sorry, writing that down. I could have just started with 2.6 as my first written answer. Just bear that in mind. So next one up will go would be 2.7. If you put 2.7 in, I get 1.08. And that there is now above 1. which is our target. We're trying to get that equal to 1, so that's too high. So now we've got it between two numbers to one decimal place, which is great. That's probably where you get your mark. Probably the first mark in this one. Now, it's not really going to midpoint this question, because we're going to have to go a bit deeper. We're going to go, in this question, we have to get our answer to 2 decimal places. So we've got to keep going for a good bit longer. Still makes sense maybe to take a midpoint and get our bearings from there, 2.65. Put 2.65 in, you get 0.795. That's too low. So it'll go a bit bigger, 2.68. 2.68 gives 0.9648, getting very close. That's still too low though. So this one wouldn't have got me a mark. It's not vital to have this one. 2.68 was a better guess. 2.69. If we put that in, we now get 1.0222. So we're actually starting to, well, we've got very, very close now. Okay, so let's look at this on our number line just to see. We were told at the start it was between 2 and 3. It wouldn't be bigger than those, so anything bigger or smaller, you can forget about it. We tried 2.5, and that was too low. We then tried 2.6. That was still too low. And 2.7, and that was too high. So we know our answer is between 2.6 and 2.7. This next one wasn't so useful, but then we got 2.68 and 2.69. So 2.68, now the scale's not very good here, but it's hard to fit all this in. 2.68 and 2.69. 2.68 was too low, 2.69 was too high. So our answer is between those. And when you get to that stage, if it says give it to 2dp, and you're then having to choose between the two of them, that's the stage where you pick your midpoint, 2.685. That's the number halfway between 2.68 and 2.69. So that's the value we need to put into the equation. If you put 2.685 in, you get 0.99345. And that's too low. So if that's too low, the answer has to be in the top half. Anything in here, if you have anything, a number bigger than 2.685, it's going to round up to 2.69 if you're rounding to 2dp. And we can't go bigger than 2.69 because we know the answer is smaller than 2.69. So the exact answer is somewhere in here, and it would always round up to 2.69 to 2dp. So our answer is 2.69. That's answering it to 2 decimal places.